We once wrote, by our hands, full books, composed in real time, our quills returning frequently to the basin. Were we not taught to revere education? 1, 2.
Traveling trans-rational blues.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
Mass times velocity equals momentum.
Force equals mass times acceleration.
I took a creative writing class once, maybe twice. This one time, Opal Greer, our instructor, she asked us to fill notebooks with our thoughts in cursive. Opal asked our recursive thoughts relayed in cursive, and so in this discourse I recounted and relayed, in addition to the recursive, the discursive, in cursive subversive inversions. Then Miss Greer said something to me that I hope I never forget. "Logic is silly," she said to me, "don't you know?" with an appropriately playful tone. And so the binary realm continued to crumble, if then giving way to both and.
Traveling trans-rational blues.
Hey, Trav. Embrace your culture. My people are the ones who turned white. We mated with the Neanderthals, but just a little bit, just 1 to 2% worth. Maybe the rest we killed. Maybe you're bound to mate with some of them, you know. They were smarter than we thought, the Neanderthals. Maybe my people go all the way back to Australopithecus. I felt like Lucy was my mom. Or maybe none of that is valid at all, and it's more like some kind of ancient astronaut theory where more highly evolved beings arrived at this planet and somehow altered the primates that were here, and that's what a human is. There are so many different storylines going. Some people still must believe literally the Bible, that God placed Adam and Eve here, in a mythical, magical story. Yet those people do not seem to function as though they live in a mythical, magical world. They seem to function by the rules of the monetary system and empire Christianity. Were we not taught to revere education? Were we not taught to write? Were we not taught to study history as not to repeat? We were led into a liberal education. Do you recall the fervor with which Miss Harper was trying to help you appreciate literature your senior year? But that one line of Whitman's, "I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass," that's what it means to be a poet, is to be present with that grass and later with the words. Miss Opal Greer, she also made me aware of the word didactic. And then there was Dr. Sumption. She suggested that perhaps I use the phrase, "it seems to me," or "it appears that." Thank you, Dr. Sumption.
Alien dancer. I dance like an alien.
And did I ever tell you about the time that for 20 years I was married to a philosopher of Victorian literature?
Because I am an alien.
Turns out one of my ancestors is Jude the Obscure. Who knew? The power of story is in that we may be more related to fictional characters than we are to characters in this real world. It may be a happier and healthier alternative. And then there was Nina Bjornsson, who I must refer to as the great royal Icelandic feminist. Through Dr. Bjornsson's teachings, I encountered the writings of bell hooks. Yes, education. Then there was Penny Sanders, a mental health care practitioner who introduced me to Carl Rogers and the practice of unconditional positive regard in the therapy room. Then there was Shirley Seaton and Feb Chi Garcia in physical therapy and many other great physical therapy teachers. I think it's funny right now that this video started with the faces of a bunch of men, and I've just been talking about my feminine teachers, my female teachers. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, mothers. It does seem recently that the Great Mother has been smiling upon me. It does seem also that the Abrahamic religions tried to kill her. Is that fair enough if we're speaking like poets? I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to discount anyone's religions. I'm just asking us to look at history, possibly like Franz de Waal, the great primatologist, says, we're not going to destroy the religions. That would be ridiculous. We all read novels as if they are true. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that sometimes reality obscures what fiction can help us to see clearly. Carl Jung, Joseph Campbell, these great teachers who understood how we are mythological creatures ourselves. We are storytelling creatures. We cannot separate ourselves from our biological capacity to tell story. Really, the idea that we could have an objective observation of a material universe is just as much a figment of an imagination as Adam and Eve.
Hot sun, rain, cool rainwater, balancing the temperature. So in me unity, a body needed equality, no danger. Tell it to the gatekeeper. So immunity, same oxygen we all sharing. Firekeeper, Rastafari, lift it up and I lift it up. One equal immunity, Gumjanaya Bengi, yeah. She humanity, humanity, yeah, righteously. Jah, Selassie, singing capoeira in a yoda, braiding conroe in a fractal, Sahimian deluxe locks, jazz rasta music of great tribulation. They see tourist attraction, gentrification, a stop and a frisk and a level heart must be healing us, cause he had nothing to hide. Ayana, there was nothing to find. A free Malcolm assassinator, release the freedom fighter.
You were just listening to Seven. I knew Seven in Portales at Eastern New Mexico University. He was a communications student. I would love to connect with Seven again. I do not know of his whereabouts, but if you can bring us together, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm so grateful that I got to record Seven's music, and now I have these songs to continue this search for Seven. One Africa, Seven used to say. I'm from Africa. I'm from Africa. One Africa. Labor and the expression of worth. Come on.